Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Ready to rock and roll. We are back with another session of trading with In the Zone Trader. Thank you guys so much for joining. Let's go ahead and review the daily chart on the NQ. All right, so Friday was very bullish. We did manage to close above this downward trend line that we've been talking about for the last few days. We did have news yesterday that the Fed is being sued by the Trump administration. It did drive price down, but as you can notice, we're still inside the range of the prior candle, right? We haven't been able to break the low of Friday. We're still above the 21 EMA. We haven't been able to break the high either. So we're forming an inside candle right now. So I would imagine if we break the low here, we probably go and test the low down here. But we do have this upward trend line that could get in the way. And if we break the high here, we do have this sort of resistance that's been around since November 12th. In early December. So not a lot of wiggle room on the daily. Let's go ahead and take a look at the ES daily. Now the ES is a different story, right? On Friday we made a brand new all-time high on the ES at 717.25. Was it a brand new all-time close? Yes. Also a brand new all-time close. And then with that negative news, we did break Friday's candle to the downside. But we're now still kind of in the lower range of the prior candle, right? So we're also nowhere near the 21 EMA as, for example, the NQ, we've bounced off the 21 EMA the last 2 days, right? 3 days, really. Or not, I should say earlier last week on January 6th, right there. Whereas the ES, we haven't revisited the 21 EMA since January 5th. So maybe it comes down, retests 21 EMA. It would be healthy, you know? So right now, I would imagine if we get some bulls, target would be 7,000 again. If we get some bears, target might be 69.50, the immediate target. And then maybe work its way down to the 21 EMA. I don't know if we get down to 6,900, but anything is possible, right? There aren't any news today, at least not during our trading session. There is 12:45 p.m. news with one of the FOMC members speaking, but that's yellow folder. And then we do have the 10-year bond auction at 1:01 p.m. today. But again, that's yellow folder. So I don't know if we'll get any other catalysts in terms of news today, but we'll see how the market opens. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 800 tick chart. We are currently underneath VWAP right now. The bearish trigger happened 901 candle right here, as you could see. Target is 722. But we are holding this prior low right here. So see what happens. We do have about a little over 7 minutes before market opens. We'll take it from there. Also noting on the 5 minute, we are below the 8 EMA, the 21 EMA. We are getting that cross now. So this is looking more and more like a rollover pattern. We also did break sort of the upward trend line that we've had going on here, right there. Go back to the NQ 800. I have that similar upward trend line drawn here. See, the ES 5 minute is holding though. It's 21 EMA on the 5 minute. Not quite as bearish looking as the NQ. We are finally sort of breaking this upward trend line here, though. All right, we got 5 minutes before market opens. All right, we got a little over 3 minutes now. Okay, we finally hit the target there from this 901 trigger candle. And we just took out the runner with that bullish move there. Bullish candle right there. All right, we got about 30 or 40 seconds here. Retesting VWAP. Okay, market just opened. We could also go up and fill the gap up here at the 25,930 level. We'll see. We shall see. Take a bullish trade there. I wanted to take it right there. Let's see if we can get the follow through here. Okay. Alright, I think we're currently in this trade right here that just hit target right there. Okay, we're making our way up to 850. Okay, we're getting a bearish signal here. Just hit that target. Waiting for our next setup. This is our next setup here. Needed to go back up though. There we go. Okay. Okay, I think we're still in this one. Yeah. We haven't hit target on this one yet. Now we have. Let's move our golden ruler up. This is a bear signal here. I don't know how I feel about taking it. All right, it hit target. This might be a bullish signal here. Not anymore though, it's too big. Go ahead and mark it. Okay. We didn't take that one because of the standard deviation level. This one is a bearish signal, but we have support underneath us, so I can't take this one either. This is a bullish signal here. We do have that downward trend line right there. That could get in the way, which is what's happening right here. We are bouncing off this 21 EMA, so price action is a little stuck. Twenty-one EMA is holding. All right, so the bullish trade worked. Golden ruler moves up. You have this new trend line here that we're just breaking. We triggered to the downside, but again, there's a lot of support down here, so I don't want to be taking a bearish trade right there. Okay, this one triggered higher. I just don't like that it triggered off of an inverse hammer. And we have the EMA above us here. You can see immediate rejection right there. So this is a bit of a tricky zone. We're still technically in this bearish trade that hasn't stopped out yet. It's making its way down. The target, it just hit target right there at 38.50. Let's go ahead and update some things. I will take a short right there if it wants to come down. It is fighting. Yeah, alright, well. That was a good setup, it just didn't pan out. All right, we're in here bullish. See if it'll go up. I was thinking about moving it to break even. I might take it right here. Okay, let's go up. There we go. Okay, it hit target. The chart in the top left corner. That's my P&L for 2 of my accounts. I trade multiple accounts simultaneously. I just want to show you guys what my P&L would look like while we're trading. Is that what you're referring to, Tyler? All right. Gross realized is your profit before fees. Realized P&L is your profit. Hold on. I need to get in this trade. May not work. Let's bump back up, please. All right, so gross realized is how much money I made before fees. Realized P&L is how much money I made after fees. Unrealized P&L is when I'm in the middle of a trade that hasn't stopped out or hit profit yet. So when I'm taking a trade in real time, you'll see that number changing up and down. And then the total P&L is really the same as the realized P&L. Or the total P&L would show you the realized plus unrealized. Right now, unrealized is 0 because we're not in the middle of a trade. Does that make sense? Oh, you're so welcome. Glad to see you on here. How you doing? I'm glad to hear it. All right, we're going to try to take a bullish trade here, bounce off of 900. We're hoping that 900 is going to hold, and I'm looking for 15 points to the upside. I'm risking only 6 points. So I'm risking $120 to make $300. But right now the sellers are really trying to push this thing below. Bulls are trying to defend. But here we go. The bulls are winning now. And then my stop loss automatically moves to +5 if we make 10. And so I only made $100 on that trade. But here's the actual trade now. It looks like this. This bullish candle triggered higher. Your target's at 19. Your stop loss is below 97. But you might get this downward trend line in a way. But so We'll see. I might try to get back into this trade again, but this is a lower high. I don't know if I want to try to engage the same trade twice. Yeah, there it is. There's that stop loss. So I'm glad I got in when I got in, and I'm glad I had the wisdom to know not to get back in. Alright, so this is our bearish signal right here. But again, I'm not going to take it. I have an EMA right here that we're bouncing off of. We also got this bullish trigger right here. Just hit target there. Didn't take it because we had that downward trend line that was in the way. We now broke through it, so bulls are back in control. Now I'm waiting for a new setup. The Harami was the bearish signal, right? The bearish signal was, for me, was this big bearish candle that closed underneath 900. But you could see I didn't like taking it because this 21 EMA could potentially act as support, and it did here, right? Support, support, support. The bullish signal was one of these candles, like this hammer or this candle right here, holding and triggering up. And you could see that candle, when it did trigger up, we hit the 1-to-1 right there, and we've pulled back since, right? So this candle can form a signal right now, depending on what it does. So this is a bearish signal here if it triggers lower. So I'm going to try to take it bearish. I'm only going to risk 6 points. It might just go without me. But now it also might stop me out too, which sucks. It just stopped me out right there. So that's okay. Stopping out is part of trading. All right, we're in bullish now. Based on this candle. I might get stopped out though. Yeah. Sucks. Technically, you're still in this bearish trade, never stopped out, but okay, we're in bearish now. We do need it to flush. We can't have it hesitating like this. This is a battle zone, it looks like, between bulls and bears. I really don't want to get stopped out again, but if it's probably going to happen. Yeah. It's not looking good for my trade. And it's okay if we do. If we get stopped out, that's fine. Yeah. This is the move I was looking for, but I'm just going to sit on my hands. The fact that I've gotten stopped out 3 times in a row in this zone here means there's a lot of indecision. So I'm just going to wait. That was the move I was looking for. It just sucks that I got stopped out. Theoretically speaking, you should be putting your stop above this candle here, but I didn't want to take that big of a risk. Because when I lose, I only lose 6 points, and when I win, I make 15, and so the math works in my favor in the long run. This thing does not want to flush. It's like, there you go. Come on. Go down. I'm not in the trade right now, but there it is. It's about to hit target. Might take it here. Bearish. There it is. Come on down. Boom. $300. We finally hit target. You just got to be patient. If I was trading this like a one-to-one strategy, Tyler, what I would do is I would take the break off this bearish candle. My stop loss would be up here, but I would have to have my target all the way down here at 73 to make it worth it. So this is almost a 20-point move. And it did hit it, but I just did not want to risk 20 points. 20 points is about $400. I'd rather risk $120 and be wrong a couple of times. But that's just me adjusting my own strategy. But if you're looking at pure price action, this was the bearish signal right here at 9:59. It never stopped out, and it finally hit your one-to-one move, because you're risking this much to make that much. If I did stay and I was looking for a runner, my runner would have been stopped out already, because it went down, broke this candle. My runner would have moved to here, but it would have already stopped out. So I sold it right here at the retesting the 21 EMA. I can trade on my chart. You see how I have this buy signal here or sell signal here, and because futures moves really fast, I like using NinjaTrader and buying a tool called I forgot what the name of the tool. I think it's called Volatility Clicker. Yeah, Volatility Clicker up here. It helps me to get into these trades very quickly. Otherwise, my strategy would be a lot more difficult. So right now we actually triggered higher, but because we bounced off of the standard deviation level right here, and the target is above 900. So this is two red flags for me. I have this EMA that's still in the way, and my one-to-one target is above 900. 900 is another area of resistance. So I don't see this as a high probability setup. I'm just going to mark it, but I'm not going to take it. And you can see here we're bouncing off that to the downside. This 21 EMA, right? Now this is another bearish signal right here. But the target for this bearish signal is underneath the standard deviation level, which standard deviation level can act as support in this case. But let's just see what happens. And you have two trades that have triggered simultaneously, one to the upside, one to the downside. That means there's fighting back and forth. Don't really like to see that when you're taking a trade. So you can see here, this standard deviation level acted as support. We got that bounce higher, right? And now you can see here, this 21 EMA is acting as resistance. We're getting the bounce lower. So we're kind of sandwiched in between these two levels. That's not good. Just wait until it breaks out one way or the other. Look for a new setup. You can see the bearish trade stopped out. So we can remove the bearish trade from our tracking here, and you're still in that bullish trade that needs to go back above 900 at 901.75 to hit its target. You can also draw some trend lines here as well. You can see we have this trend line that we're bumping up against at the moment. That's acting as resistance, this downward trend line. There's a lot to keep track of, but you know, once you practice, it becomes more intuitive. And then you also start recognizing what's a good setup, between what's a great setup versus what's a mediocre setup, right? See the bounce off this the bounce off this standard deviation level right there. So this is just stuff that I've observed over hundreds, if not thousands of hours of trading. And that's why I knew that this was going to bounce here, right? Now, did I want to take it? Not necessarily, because we still have this resistance over our heads. Like, would we have made 15 points? We would have made, yeah, we would have actually made 15 points, but yeah, the red EMA is resistance right now. But we're trying to break through it. You see that? These wicks here just signal that there's buyers at this level. And their goal is to try to go back and hit 900. At least. Now we signal lower again, but not a good setup, because look how many times we've bounced across the standard deviation level here. Now eventually something is going to give. Something is going to snap. There's going to be enough momentum, enough force to go through one level or the other. You can see here the buyers are in control. I'm about to hit 900. Let's see what happens at 900. 900 is another potential area of resistance. All right, went right through it. We did hit the target. Do we get a continuation and keep going higher? Find out. So I can delete the lines that have been broken through. No longer do we need that downward trend line. We broke through it. But we can start drawing sort of this upward trend line here. Now, what was resistance could now be support. This 21 EMA can now potentially act as support. I am waiting for a setup that makes sense. This is technically a bearish setup, but we're running into this 21 EMA here that could now act as support. See that? It's like bouncing right there. Also, it helps to sometimes zoom out and see what's happening. We're kind of in this bigger wedge. There's the upper portion of the wedge and there's the lower portion of the wedge here. We're still technically in an uptrend. This did trigger higher, but we have 900 right above our heads. again, this is another scenario where both bears and bulls have triggered, and you don't want both of them to trigger because then there's confusion. This is a very confusing setup. Now, the bearish trade stopped out. As we talked about here, this 21 EMA was resistance down here, and now it became support. And then this was the bullish signal, but I didn't like how the target was above 900. It did hit it, but it wasn't. It was a mediocre setup. Let's just put it that way. We can delete this trend line here. So now what I might do is, if this candle holds above 900, I might take a bullish setup and see if I can get filled at 900 and go up 15 points. That's my next setup. All right, I'm gonna try to take a bullish trade at 900. If got me in, I really wanted to go up. There we go. All right, I got maybe 6 or 7 points out of that. Let me tell you the logic of how I have NinjaTrader helps managing me with an auto trail. What is an auto trail? So when I am up 10 points, I have my stop loss automatically move me up to positive 5 points. So that means I've secured $100. And for every tick it goes up, it auto trails that stop loss up 5 points. And I'm glad I did that, because if notice here, we would have gotten stopped out, right? For a loss. And so that's just one of the ways I protect myself. If I'm up 10 points, I want to that's $200. I want to secure at least $100 on the way to making the 15 points, which is $300. I don't know. I hope you're kind of understanding my logic too. Like, I'm just observing what the market is doing, seeing where we're getting areas where we're going to bounce up or bounce down, and take a high probability setup. And if I'm wrong, I don't really want to be too wrong. So if I'm wrong, I only lose $120. And if I'm right, I make anywhere between $100 to $300. Here I was semi-right, meaning it went up, didn't quite hit 15. I made $100 anyway, and it pulled back. Cool. Glad you're understanding this. And the nice thing about this is you could do it with a prop firm for not a lot of risk to your own. You don't have to put up your own capital. So to do this, once you get good at paper trading in Ninja and you understand how my system works, let me know, that we can talk about how to set you up with a prop firm, because that is really the best way to do it. I've only been trading for a little under an hour. Haven't quite hit my goals, but I'm pretty happy with the way I traded today. I think the standard CME data sets, Tyler. I think the standard ones. The standard ones are going to have NQ and ES because those are the most highly tradable tickers on futures on Ninja. So yeah, make sure it includes NQ and ES. I think the standard one does. I think I pay like $12 a month for that data feed on Ninja to get NQ, ES, and some of the other ones that are the more popular ones. But yeah, it includes NQ and ES. And I think it's important to have your own data feed because now, granted, if you get a prop firm, they will give you a NinjaTrader license, but it doesn't have all the bells and whistles. And you will get a data feed from them live. But I think it's important to have your own data feed in case that data feed goes bad. And in the future, if you want to start trading with your own capital, you already have that set up, right? And if you have any other questions, let me know. You can email me and we can talk offline. Be more than happy to help you get this set up. All right. So yeah, you don't you want to be trading with real live data with a fake paper account. And trading for your schedule will be best right now. That's great. That's when you should be trading futures between 9:30 to 11:30. So all right, guys, I'm actually going to call it quits here. I had a really good day trading today. We're up 725 on one account and 365 on the other. You guys can see that in the top left corner. My win rate today was 53%. Not bad, especially because our strategy, we make more than twice our losers, right? And that helps if you only need to be above 25% win rate to be profitable with that better than 2-to-1 risk reward. All right, I'll tell you what, Tyler, I am going to log off on this stream and let me send you a Zoom link and let's talk offline and I'll get you set up today. How does that sound? All right, cool. I'll go ahead and email you a Zoom link. I'm going to go ahead and log off here. Thank you guys, everyone else, for joining. Really appreciate your support. Appreciate you guys being on here. Happy Monday. Great start to the week. I'll take it. And let's keep moving forward in 2026. Have a good one.